here at the 2013 NFL Scouting Combine with senior NFL analyst Chris Mortensen.
That's all you emphasize senior. That is true, by the way.
No disrespect, no disrespect. First things first, where are the Kansas City Chiefs going to go with the first pick?
Well, listen, when you have the first pick in the draft and you assume it's not going to be traded, then you always take the best player available, and in this case, and the safest one, by the way, because you want to make sure this pick sticks. That's why Luke Joeckel, the Texas A&M tackle, everybody's talked about, is kind of the odds-on favorite at this point. Yeah, there's a guy like Jarvis Jones at Georgia. Say there's an impact player, but he's got the medical issue with the neck, and you have to be really convinced he'll never have another episode, which obviously the University of Southern California wouldn't clear him to play, and Georgia did. So you get the coin flip there. But, with Joeckel, you get a guy who people think come be your left tackle. And since there's not a franchise quarterback in this draft, at least as of right now, there's no franchise quarterback in this draft, then you take quarterbacks, left tackles, edge rushers, maybe a shutdown corner, but there are very few shutdown corners in the NFL anymore because the rules don't allow you to be a shutdown corner.
Mm-hmm. You said best player available. You've been hanging out with our general manager, John Dorsey?
No. But that's listen. If you're coming from the Green Bay Packers, that's how they have thrived, by sticking discipline to that formula. Which is, by the way, that's the way the Baltimore Ravens do it. Ozzie Newsome never varies from his draft board, and so I think that's why when you get into trouble is when you do reach for need instead of the best player.
Speaking of John Dorsey, speaking of Andy Reid, evaluate the team that we have in Kansas City.
Well, listen, I think if you go back to the last two regimes, we always want to just go back to the Scott Pioli regime, but even before that, there's been good players put into place here. And so good players are put into place. Now it's a matter, are you going to keep the good players? Are you going to keep Dwayne Bowe? I think that they probably would hope to keep him. Brandon Alberts, to me, is the iffy one. He's had one season in 5 where he's played the full 16 games. That might be the reason why we're talking about Luke Joeckel so much. But you have quality players. When you have a team that is not winning the division, sending 5 or 6 players to the Pro Bowl in some fashion or form, you got talent.
Last question: the overall depth of this draft class.
Well, it is a deep draft class. It just doesn't have the box office stars like it has in some drafts. The Andrew Lucks, the Robert Griffin III's like it was last year. But really, it's when you talk to personnel guys, I sense some excitement here. I heard Phil Emery of the Chicago Bears yesterday say there's 6 safeties in this draft that can start. I asked another personnel guy. He starts counting them. He says, "Yeah," he goes, "He's about right." That's unusual. And then you have defensive linemen like crazy. Everybody's looking for defensive linemen. You have good linebackers. You have good offensive linemen. Maybe you're a little thin at quarterback. I have no question you're thin at quarterback. I think the Chiefs would take a quarterback at the top of the second round. I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know how they're going to evaluate it. But it's a good, deep draft.